Hey guys, so I'm gonna try to keep this video short. Sorry if my eyes look red or whatever because I just put eyeliner on for the first time in probably no, not 6 months. Probably the last 2 or 3 months. So my eyes are trying to adjust to it. And sorry if I have a raccoon thing going on here, but I kind of ran out of the right shade of concealer. So yeah, I've got dark shadows type under eye circles going on right here. But anyway, this is just a quick update. I uploaded a video probably a few days or a few days ago. I think it was on Sunday or Monday. So or was it Tuesday? I don't know. Excuse me while I F up the days of the week here. Why do I always get heartburn or hiccups on camera? I don't know. And excuse my mess of a closet back there. Just pretend that's not there. Anyway, so I told you guys in my last video that I was going to be going to the doctor and seeing if my doctor could give me the cyproheptadine, which is the active ingredient in epidamin. If you don't know what epidamin or cyproheptadine is, rewind and go back to a different video from when I first started my weight gain journey, and I go into it more there. But for those of you who have been following me from the beginning, you know what I'm talking about. So I did go, and I do have the cyproheptadine. My doctor did prescribe it, so I'm back on that again, and my eating has gone right back to where it was before with the epidamin. So you're probably wondering why I seem kind of down in this video anyway, even though that's the case. So when I went there, this doctor that I went to, I won't say her name or the practice or anything, but she and I have been dealing with each other for about 4 years, on and off, give or take, because I've been in and out of the state. I moved to a couple different states throughout the last 4 years, and but throughout that time, she was quite familiar with my stomach condition, cyclic vomiting syndrome. Well, she wasn't familiar with the condition, but she was familiar that I had a stomach problem, and she was trying to figure that out with me, what it was, and refer me to a gastro doctor and, get all that kind of stuff done on me. But I had moved, so I went to a gastroenterologist in a different state, and it got confirmed that I had cyclic vomiting syndrome. They did an endoscopy on me, it was confirmed. I have it. It's not something that you can see in the stomach. It's kind of like IBS. It's not something that people can see in a person's colon or their stomach. It's just it's symptomatic, and because so many hundreds of thousands of people report having it without being able to see anything in there, they just, they've stuck a label on it. This is what you have. Here's some medicine to try to control it, and that's the end of it. And while that's disappointing that it's the same thing for cyclic vomiting syndrome, there is no cure as of right now. They're not even sure what causes it. At least it was nice to be told that I have something that it's an actual thing. I'm not insane. And, which I knew I wasn't. People know, you know your body, is basically what I'm saying. But it's it's so messed up when people try to make you feel like you're crazy. Or they don't know what to do with you, so they refer you to somebody who will treat you like you're crazy. So where am I getting with all this? Basically, I told my doctor that, yes, I finally found out what my stomach condition is, and right now I'm still on Zofran for nausea. That controls the nausea, but it doesn't bring back an appetite. I told her I tried epidamin. I told her that it was taken off of Amazon, and that was the only thing that was helping me, that I was off of the epidamin for a week and a half and lost 3 or 4 pounds. And it would be really nice to have this medicine back, or really anything that she could recommend to try that might help me with it, with, putting the weight back on. Excuse me. And so she's listening, and she sounded like she was happy to hear that I had an actual diagnosis. She looked back at me, and her literal words were, "Yeah, it must be nice to know that you're not cuckoo." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's definitely true." And so I was just explaining my symptoms to her and the medicine and all that sort of thing, and she sounded very supportive at first, but then she just basically told me that she would not be able to prescribe this on an ongoing basis because she's never dealt with anybody who has my stomach problem or a low appetite or whatever, and she's not sure how to like what dosage she was supposed to give me of this medicine, and like that she needed to refer me to someone, which was okay. I found it odd because you're a general practitioner and you don't know how to treat someone with a low appetite. Like, that's such a basic thing. Like, not even the stomach condition I can understand because it's a rare condition and it's not very well known. It's not like as widespread of a knowledge of it as like Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome or anything like that. Like, it's not as well known. So I understand that. But to not know how to treat someone with low appetite, and to not, even when I just told you what works for me, like when I just told you literally what medicine works for me, all you had to do was write me a prescription for it and say, okay, just call me when you need a refill. Like, that's literally all that needed to go down. But no, she needed to refer me. And at first she said, well, maybe we can talk to like a bariatric doctor, because, you know, they know how to deal with people who need to have less of an appetite. Maybe they could, you know, maybe they have some kind of insight on how to help you with getting more of one. And I thought, okay, that's a reasonable idea. But then by the end of the appointment, somehow it went from that to she wanted to refer me to a psychiatrist for eating disorders. And I'm just like, you just told me you don't think it's mental. You asked me if I have anxiety. You asked me if I have depression. You asked me all this sort of thing. And I just told you, no, I'm fine. Like, I have normal day-to-day stress. I'm planning my wedding. I have a 3-year-old, so obviously there's some day-to-day stress. But, like, I'm not going to go jump off a building. I'm not having panic attacks. Like, I mean, maybe it's just me, but that's my definition of normal. And so she was just saying, well, I don't know how to treat this, so maybe they know how. Like, they deal with people with really low appetites with anorexia and bulimia, so maybe they would know how to treat you. The whole reason why a psychiatrist knows how to treat anorexia and bulimia is because that's a mental problem, where somebody looks at themselves and thinks that they're fat. No matter how skin and bones they are, they just see fat. And that is not my problem. Like, I'm coming to you saying that I'm too skinny, I'm weak, I need nourishment, like I'm losing weight and it's bothering me. Like, I'm not coming in saying, oh, I'm so proud of myself, I lost 15 pounds. No. Like, I came to you saying I need to gain some weight. I want some help with that. I can't eat. I need to eat. And you're really going to send me to a place that, like, I don't mind going. That's fine, but I can just see where it's going to be kind of like, they're going to look at me, they're going to ask me all these questions and do an evaluation and all that, and they're going to look at me and be like, well, you don't think you're fat, you're not trying to lose weight, you're trying to gain it, so we don't know what to do with you, we don't know why you're here. And, I mean, I had a similar scenario several years ago, where I was in a regular checkup, a doctor's appointment, and the doctor thought that it was necessary for me to go see a therapist, a counselor, psychologist, whatever, and get an evaluation done, and I did, and the person said I was completely normal, completely fine, and whatever was going on in my life was, you know, it was normal to react the way that I did, because I was under a great amount of stress, and basically said the exact same thing that I said to my doctor. So it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating when, like, why would you tell a person to go see a shrink when they just answered your question and said, no, they're not under a great deal of stress, they're not anxious, they're not depressed, like, they're perfectly normal, and they're trying to better themselves, like, they're not trying to tear themselves down and do all this and that. Like, why wouldn't you think to do, like, a gastroenterologist referral? Or, like she said in the beginning, a bariatric doctor? Like, what? It's just frustrating, because I even remember a time when I was hospitalized because of my stomach condition. I was severely dehydrated. I couldn't eat. I couldn't, like, I just couldn't. Like, my mother literally had to get a nurse to bring a wheelchair to the car to get me in the door. Like, I was that weak and that tired and that dehydrated and that sick. And the doctor comes in the room and basically says, well, you just have a stomach bug. This was before I got diagnosed with my stomach condition, but they're just like, well, you just have a stomach bug, and people all over the globe have stomach bugs like this every day and they don't go to the emergency room for it. I wanted to look at this, so help me. Oh my God. I can't, if you're a doctor watching this, please don't treat your patients like that. Because you know what? What comes around goes around, and one day it's probably going to be you on the table. And possibly with a condition that no one has ever heard of. Ever. And you're going to be looking at somebody for help. You're going to be looking to them saying, please, I don't know what's wrong with me. I know it's not all in my head. You know, it'll be you one day. And whatever you dealt out is whatever you'll get back. Just because you don't know how to deal with something, just because you've never seen something, just because it's new to you, does not mean it does not exist. Does not mean that someone else has not heard of it. Does not mean that someone else doesn't know how to treat it. Like, I don't know. That's just very frustrating, very hurtful, and very discouraging. Like, she sent very mixed messages. She's like, well, I don't think it's a mental problem. Like, you don't sound anorexic or bulimic, but I think they would be your best option to go to. Like, if I don't sound to you like I'm anorexic or bulimic, if I sound perfectly normal to you, if you don't think that there's anxiety going on, if you don't think there's depression going on, I've just verified there's no anxiety or depression going on. The only thing I'm anxious about is getting some food. Like, damn. Please. It's like, why? Just why? I'm going into a rant. This is supposed to be a short video, but it's just so freaking frustrating. Like, please communicate with me, guys. Have you ever dealt with this? Have you ever been to a doctor, whether it's for eating or not? Any condition. It can be any condition at all. I just need somebody to relate to me right now. Like, if you've ever gone through that where a doctor just kind of belittled you and made you feel like you were crazy, or like it's all in your head, or you're just being a big baby over it and like wasting their time. Like, I'm exaggerating just a little bit as far as my current situation, but when I say like wasting their time, I'm speaking of like years ago when I was in that hospital with that really rude doctor that came in and said that crap about, well, people all over the globe go through this every day and they're not in the hospital. You know, just crap like that. Like, it's and see, they send such mixed messages because in one breath they say, well, if you feel that something's off with your body and you know something's just not right, come to the hospital. We'd rather have you be paranoid than dead. Then you come to the hospital and then they'd rather have you be dead than paranoid. Like, I don't know. It's enough to make me not want to ever go to the doctor again. Like, this is the second time I've ever reached out to a doctor for help with a medical issue and been made to feel like I was just an overreacting, anxious, big baby. Like, it's very off-putting, and I feel like this is one of the big reasons why people just don't go to the doctor. They just don't, because they don't want to feel like this. They would rather suck it up and deal with it themselves, search on YouTube, search on Amazon for a way to alleviate their ailments, and, you know, feel like if it kills me, it kills me, rather than to feel like this. I don't know. Maybe I am overreacting. Put your comments in the thing where you put the comments. Excuse me, I'm drowsy. I just took the medicine last night and it's still kicked in, and I don't know why it makes me so drowsy the first few days. I guess because it's an antihistamine and that's what it does. But anyway, just leave me a comment below. Am I overreacting? Do you think so? I mean, have you ever dealt with anything like this before? If so, I would love to hear the story of it, and, you know, maybe even post like a response video and like just link me to it so I can go and watch your frustrations, because I feel like that makes people feel so much better when they know that they are not the only one going through it. So, anyway, on a brighter note, like I said, I got the medicine. I have about a 60-day supply. Technically, it was only supposed to be like a 2-week supply because she put me on it 3 times a day, 4 milligrams of cyproheptadine 3 times a day, and she gave me 60 tablets, and I don't need to take that much. Like, when I was on the Epidamine, I was definitely not taking it 3 times a day because I would have been asleep around the clock, and I have to work and take care of my son. So I'm just probably going to take it like in the evening or on my days off, I'll take it like in the afternoon and in the evening, basically like what I was doing before. So if I just take it in the evening, it'll be enough to last me for about 2 months. So hopefully within that amount of time, I will have gained back what I lost and then some. And I will be updating you guys again soon. Please do comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video.